Yes. Zack Holder. All right, guys. What you're looking at here, I have no idea what the fuck. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, look, Zach wanted me to do a jewel for his original Xbox that he's working on right now. And Tony Kaburka said to Zach, go to Tony, he'll do you something nice. So Zach gave me this image here. All right, and well, we're gonna cut it out on this. All right, you like my camera setup right there, huh? You like that professional freaking setup there, eh? Looks pretty good, don't it? Yeah. Anyway, okay. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut this out, and I figured I would record it just to show you guys what I do and how I do it with laser etching equipment and a CNC laser. Okay. So anyway, what we have here is well, it's actually several images. Okay. If you look at it, all right, let's see here. All right, we have a black line. The black line is going to be a cut. Okay. Then of course we have orange, which is going to be a fill. All right. Then we have red, which is going to be an etch. All right. And then of course we have the image itself, which is going to be done in grayscale. All right. So this is all going to be done on one piece. Okay. And it's multiple cuts. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab hold of this thing like this. And then we're going to arrange and we're going to group it together. And then we're going to arrange, and we're going to do this reverse etch. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it horizontally like that. All right, because I want the etch on the back side of it. So then that way, then it's a shiny side up. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is once that's done right there, all right, which it is, okay, we'll go ahead. What we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ungroup this. All right, and there's a reason for that, all right, because I want to know where the laser is going to be when it cuts out the outer part of it. So we come over to the laser here, and what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead. I'm going to turn the light switch on, which is going to be our LED. Now, mind you, I got the safety jumped out. Don't do what I do, kids. Okay, please, don't do what I do. All right, this is actually an 80-watt laser. It can cut a 2x4. You don't want to get your hands in there, all right? It's not a good idea, all right? So anyway, we're going to go ahead, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit this button here, which is going to be our actual frame, okay? These are our layers right here that we're going to be doing, and as you can see, we have image, and then of course you have your speed, your power, all that kind of good stuff, all right? And we're going to go ahead, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to frame this thing. So here we go. Now, that red light should not touch anything but the plexiglass, in which it does. Alright, now mind you, I'm using 5mm cast acrylic plexi. This is extremely expensive stuff. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty darn thick. Alright, because that's the way an Xbox Jewel is supposed to be, I mean, now, I can do it with a dome, or I can do it flat. I'm doing it flat on this thing. Okay, so we got our perimeter set up there. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and now I'm going to group this off. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll arrange this and we'll group it together. All right. And then that way, then once this is selected here, and I press start, okay, this thing is going to start cutting. All right. Now, before we do that, of course, I have to turn the chiller on, because that's what cools the laser down. All right, and of course we have an air pump underneath there as well. All right, so it's going to get a little noisy in here, guys. I'm sorry for that, but I got to do it, because if I don't, I'll burn the laser up. And besides that, also it won't cut, because it'll sense that there's no water pressure, and it'll be like, no, you're not coming on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this camera right here, and I'm going to try and hook it to this mount without having any insanity. Alright, I'm going to tighten you down right there, and you're going to go for a ride, okay? So hang on as you go for a ride here, alright? Now, okay. Now this is a horrible setup, but it is what it is. What am I going to do, alright? It's the best I can do. Okay, so we're gonna make it a little close up here. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start cutting this thing. Now, mind you, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, don't do what I'm doing with the safeties off and everything if you have one of these things, because, like I said, it can actually hurt. And if you forget that it's off and hit the play button and you got your fingers in there, well, you ain't gonna have any fingers for long, okay? So, okay, we're good to go. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, make sure everything is right, which it is. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this thing off, and hopefully it'll all be good. So, here we go. And it's off. Okay. It's going to do the image first. So I'm going to turn off the red lights, and that way then, it's not glaring in the face. So mind you, this is 68.2 millimeters, okay? That's how big the Xbox Dual is, alright? And this thing right now is actually going over this thing, and it's doing the image first. So this takes a little time for it to do that, alright? There's nothing, it takes its time. Like I said, this thing is doing, right now, it's doing 596 dots per inch. It's just under 600 dots per inch, okay? Because you want it detailed. So, detailing it, it's going to be right. You all know the way that I am when it comes to this crap. I can't, I'm not going to do something wrong. Okay? I'm just not. If I have to redo it, I'll redo it. I don't care. Alright? But right now, it's going ahead and what it's doing is it's scoring the actual plexiglass. Now, I know that you can't really rightly see it yet, but you will. Okay? Especially as the laser gets into it. You see, it's marking it right now. It is starting, yeah. When it gets to the smile, that's when you're going to see some fireworks. Alright? Right now it's doing the ha-has. Alright? And this is a pretty lengthy process. So we're just going to let this thing run. Okay? And hopefully by the grace of God, it'll turn out alright. Okay? I can only hope. Okay? In fact, I think so as you can see it's starting to etch all of the graphics into it. Okay, and then after that, after it does the etch, what's going to come up next? After it does the image, then it's going to come the line etch. Okay, and that's going to give it a little bit of definition. Mind you, I don't have to do that, but I do it anyway because it looks really nice on the finished product. Okay, so we're going ahead right now, and right now it's doing the smile and the teeth, and it's going to do the etching. Then it's going to do the fill. The fill is where it says Xbox Joker. Okay, that's an orange. Okay, and what that does is it's going to cross hatch it at a 45-degree angle. Okay, and you'll see the laser go one way, and then it's going to go another way. All right, that's how it's going to cross hatch the actual image, so it actually, looks presentable. Then, once the fill is done, then it's going to do the cut on the line, okay, which is going to cut the actual jewel out. And it will fit right on top of the Xbox. Okay, it'll fit right in that hole right there. Because Tony went ahead and Zack went and bought the LED light kit from Tony for this, and he wanted to light the jewel up, and we wanted a custom jewel made for it because he's doing a Joker themed, original Xbox. So, before I get into doing, console modifications, stuff like that today, I wanted to get this done for him, so that way then we can get shipped out. Because I wanted to get to him just when the LED kit comes, and that way we can get it all together. Alright, but right now, we're going ahead and let's see what it's done so far. Alright, it's done. Yeah, it's doing the teeth. Okay, and it's doing the smile now. Okay? And then what's gonna happen is then it's gonna go ahead and what it's gonna do is, like I said, it's gonna outline the teeth and the smile and all that stuff. So hopefully everything will turn out correctly. We shall see. So yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. So just bear with me here as we get this going. Like I said, it's a lengthy process. And, you know, I mean, if you guys go to my website, you'll see I charge $85 for laser etching. Now, mind you, on the slim model, I do 2 etchings. You get one over the DVD and one over the vent fan. Okay, anything you want, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm getting a few art. Alright, and I get a lot of these. I get a lot of people asking me about this stuff. So, you know. And then also on a fat, I do one big etching or a bunch of small etchings. It doesn't really matter. Okay, but I charge $85 for that flat rate. Alright, now normally, if you go to a person with a CNC machine, they're going to charge you by the hour. They're going to charge you for designing the damn thing. Then they're going to charge you for the laser time. And then they're going to charge you for the materials, okay? Me, I just go ahead because I love doing it. And it's fun. And I enjoy doing it. I charge $85 for it. You know, I mean, that includes, you know, big pieces of plexi, multiple colors, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So I do that, and you know, a lot of people they love it. They love the way it lights up, how it looks, and all that. And not to mention also, I've done other projects with this thing. I did the grill for Beetlejuice, the truck Beetlejuice from Brian Britt from the Member Street Outlaws. I did the grill for him on the front of his truck. I'm also doing a couple other things. And now, mind you, also I have a giant 3D printer, which is in the other room getting assembled. Okay. Now this thing does 4 foot by 4 foot. Now, why you might ask why I bought something so big? Because why not? You know, I mean, what the hell? So, you know, because I want to also do some car parts, components. I'm also building an onboard computer for race cars. I'm doing some stuff like that. You know, for data logging and all that. And that way, then you don't have to run around with a laptop. You know, they can plug the keyboard into their USB port. Screen comes up and there's their tuning, you know, and hopefully it will be compatible with fuel tech and, you know, and all that kind of good stuff. So, you know, I mean, I do a lot of engineering and stuff when it comes to electronics, and I enjoy it. Like I said, and right now, okay, it finished the actual image. Now it's doing the outlines, and now mind you, Zack wanted this as clear as possible. You know, so, you know, like I said, I'm doing it on a clear piece of plexiglass. And, you know, when you're doing an image like this, you have to do it as a negative image. And then you have to play with the contrast setting. You got to play with the adjustments on it to get it so it actually marks, you know, it actually looks good on the plexi. When you do a paint back, you know, piece of acrylic, that's easy. Because the paint, you just go until it gets removed, nice and easy, you know. I mean, it does take time, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I mean, paint, when you got painted, when you're going to back paint acrylic, it's easy to do. Also, mirror finish is easy to do as well. All right, but when it comes to clear, that's, you know, when you're doing grayscale, it's really cute, you know. But, yeah, it's doing the lines right now, as you can see. It's doing all the details, which is cool. Then what it's going to do is after it does the lines and everything, after it does the etching, then it's going to do the actual OG, where it's going to say, you know, where it's going to say Xbox Children. So it's just going through all of its little details right now. It's actually a good laser. I haven't had any problems. You know, everybody goes to the name brand or whatever. Well, I got this thing from, it's See the Cookie. Yeah. Okay, but it has a Ruidia controller, so, you know, this same crap, just, you know, just different tubes or whatever. You know, this tube has been real good with me. I mean, I haven't had any problems out of it. It's logged a lot of hours. It's still good. It's still cut like the day that I got it out of the box. So, I mean, as far as wear is concerned, because the CO2 gas lasers do lose their efficiency after a while, and you have to get a new one. And, you know, I mean, of course I dread that, because one of these tubes, when you want a real good one, you're looking at about $700 to replace the tube in this thing, okay? And not to mention other maintenance and everything else. This has Z-axis up and down, also has a rotary, so I can do, you know, bottles and glass and all that kind of good stuff too. And right now, it is doing the cross-hatching on the imaging. So we're gonna see how that comes out. Hopefully it'll come out good. We'll see. I can't believe my camera's still hanging in here without freaking, you know, it's moving though. I'm watching it. I'm like, oh my God, gee, it's gonna fall into the laser. I hope not. And yeah, we're doing the actual Joker part of it now. I have a little LCD display over here, and right now it's doing the K on it. And like I said, this is a reverse edge, so it's backwards. Okay? So I want that side to be down, and I want the other side to be up. So we're getting there. Yeah. And right now, let's see, we're starting on the, yeah, we're doing the O. And this is going crosshatch. So right now, we're going in a 45-degree angle this way. Then you're going to see the laser flip over. It's going to do a 45-degree angle the other way. Yeah. See? And it's, you know, it's doing one lever at a time. Because that's the way I have it set up. I don't want it to go, you know, crosshatch, you know, and do the whole thing at one time, because then it bleeds into each other and it just looks like hell. You know, it takes a little bit longer this way, but like I said, if you want something that's going to look good, well, you take the time. If you don't take the time, then why the hell do it in the first place, right? And why would I spend, you know, like $3-4 grand on something like this that just, you know, nah. Do it right, do it once. You're not going to have the time to do it over again, I'll tell you that right now. We'll see how big this comes out. Alright, now we're going to the top section of it. I was going to say Xbox, I'm doing the X right now. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay. And then after this, then it's going to actually be the cut. Alright, I think I have it set to 3 passes or 4 passes for the cut. Yep, 4 passes. Yeah, because I do it not at a high temperature, because then you risk cracking the acrylic. You don't want to do that. If you overheat the acrylic, you know, number 1, it can turn black. Number 2, it can turn into molten. Okay, and number 3, you know, it cracks and it looks like hell. You know, so you gotta take your time with this. I learned all of this stuff over a period of time with my first laser, which was a little tiny K40 that I modified and had to. I had to get that thing. It came from China. The thing didn't work the way it was supposed to. I had to put a different controller in it. I had to rewire it. I had to make my own control panel for it and everything else. Remember, I've shown that several times. And that thing was a nightmare, but I did it, and that's basically what I learned on it. You know? I mean, so that little K40 is sitting in my shed right now. I will never get rid of it. It's part of me, and it's staying with me. And you know, I'm probably going to wind up when I get my bigger shop. I'm going to probably wind up using that for small stuff. So anyway, now we're doing the cut. You can see we got smoke. And yeah, I'm smelling plexi. I'm glad that this is plexi. Now mind you, if you do Lexan, well, if you like cyanide gas, you know, I mean, hey, have at it, you know. Personally, me, you know, I have this addiction to breathing, all right? I like living, all right? So, you know, if I fall cancer for a reason and keep living, well, I sure as hell am not going to subject myself to cyanide gas, because that is the byproduct when you use a laser on it, all right? Not a good thing. Okay, now, we made it through, as you can see. And like I said, there's the fireworks right there. And it's done. But what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that it's cut all the way through. So I'm going to grab hold of the line image. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back that down 2 more passes just to make sure. Alright, then I'm going to ungroup this thing. I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the cut, which is black. No, not the image, the cut. Thank you. And I'm going to do it one more time. We're going to only do 2 passes on it just to make sure it went all the way through. Because the last thing you want to do is lift it up off of there and it didn't cut through. Alright, then you're sitting there with a wasted piece of plexiglass. Not good. Oh yeah, we got fire now. Fire! Like I said, in the other videos that I did, like with the original Xbox and everything with the internal HDMI, yes, you can set yourself on fire doing this shit. I am not kidding you, alright? anyway, all right. This should be good to go. Oh yeah, she's cut through. All right. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna brush this off here, just to be on the safe side here, make sure it looks decent. All right. Now, as you can see, all right, we got our etching and everything else, the ha-has and all that. Now, of course, it's backwards. So we're gonna go ahead. Let me peel this off of here. This stuff is a real pain in the butt to get off. This paper. Alright. Yep, I got it. Okay. Good. Alright. Like I said, we wanted it as clear as possible. So that's what we did. So anyway. There you go, Zach. I hope that you like it. Like I said, it should light up really nice on there. There you go. So anyway, guys, you all have a good morning. I gotta get to work. I got a bunch of console modifications to do and all kinds of crazy stuff. So you all take it easy and have a great day. I'm gonna holler at you later. Take care, guys. Have a good one.